It was actually nice to see Angelina Jolie in a movie again. It's been, I don't know, 2-3 years for sure to see her on the big screen yet again, even though we were in our living room. Let's get back to the movie theater.
1, 2, 3, 4!
I'm wearing a bear hat for Montana. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mr. Teach Film Preach, and if you're a lover of films like I am, and if you learn from films as much as I do, then you are in the right place. And if you feel like you are in the right place, please click like down below and subscribe to my channel, and that would be fantastic. Would love to hear your thoughts on this film. What did you guys think about Those Who Wish Me Dead? And while you're down there, click that like and subscribe button as well. Month of May and June, we're gearing into summer season, and so all the big films are coming out soon. I can't wait for them and to talk about them. Let's get into summer blockbuster season, baby. Today we are talking about the 2021 action thriller film called Those Who Wish Me Dead. This movie stars Angelina Jolie in the role of Hannah, who is a smoke jumper, a wildfire forest firefighter. She is reeling and recovering from a tragedy that happened about a year ago, and since then she's been stuck in this forest wildfire watchtower in the mountains of Montana. While she's out there, she runs into a young teenager who is being chased by two assassins who had just murdered his father. And so it's a little bit of a survival story, because at the same time this wildfire is raging through the forest, and also at the same time Hannah has to get this kid to safety and get him away from these two assassins that are tracking him.
Stop! I'm not gonna hurt you. I want to see where the blood's coming from. It's not my blood.
It is a really intense, action-packed film. It has some really interesting characters. It's set in a really cool place like Montana wildlife and the mountains. It's just gorgeous. Kind of reminds me up here in Canada.
Up in Canada.
You could tell that this is a movie that was written and directed by Taylor Sheridan, who has written films like Sicario and Hell or High Water. He also wrote and directed Wind River. He is the creator of the TV show Yellowstone. He is a cowboy. He loves country and Western films, obviously. This movie's used the genre and the storyline and the blueprint of a Western to tell his stories. He does a fairly great job. Awesome to see Angelina Jolie back in something. I'm not going to say this is my favorite performance of hers. She's fine in the movie, absolutely knocks it out of the park. She's just a good, solid choice. There's great action, but there's moments that the characters get to reflect on things. There's great sequences. Even if it's a little far-fetched, it is still an exciting action film to watch. The cast is amazing. On Bernthal, Aidan Gillian, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. He's awesome. I love when he plays bad guys. He's so good at it. Nicholas Hoult from X-Men and About a Boy. Tyler Perry makes a quick one-scene cameo. Finn Little, who plays the young teenage boy Connor. He was really great actually in this performance, and probably actually one of the better parts about this film. You can see that he has a really good eye for building intensity around the action, that it drives the plot point of the movie, and it's also never too crazy and John Wick-esque. And I love John Wick. I'm not bashing John Wick at all. John Wick is really over the top, big stylized action. Taylor Sheridan really takes more of a realistic approach in the sense that it's usually set within operatives and they have their military and they go back and forth. Has a sense of realism to his action. It's not just like a guy running sideways off walls. He's got dual Uzis and he's spraying bullets at everyone. It's not like that at all. And I appreciate that about his filmmaking style and the way that he writes his scripts. And it just drips with rawness and intensity and a visceral action that I am just a big fan of. So they've already won me over with the action in this film. That being said, there are a couple of things about this movie that I was like, "Woo!" Sometimes the plot things just really are weak and kind of make you go, what? How did we end up here? For example, in the movie, they're running through a field and lightning is striking at them as they run through the field, and Angelina Jolie is running with Connor and she's saying to him don't stop, keep running. At one point she gets hit, she recovers from it, and then they have a conversation in the middle of the field while lightning is still striking around them. Is that a survivalist strategy? Are you supposed to stop halfway through a field and just hunker down and have an emotional moment with this young boy you're being a parental figure for? Oh man, this is a weird scene. No, this doesn't work. And there's a bunch of moments kind of like that throughout this film where they have these moments together and you're like, no, you would be running right now. You'd be trying to get away. You wouldn't just be standing still like that. Certain things in this film that they wanted us to believe, and I just had a hard time believing in some of the things that they do, some of the things that they are able to accomplish. Taylor Sheridan really seems to have a love, a passion, a respect for forest firefighters, for anyone who deals with nature and survivalists and the people in the watchtowers. I thought he was just really using it as a device to set his film in. But I actually feel he actually wanted to make more of a movie about forest fires and the Montana backdrop and dealing with those kind of things. And then at the last second, he was like, yeah, but you know what? That's kind of boring. So we're going to put some assassins in here. A boy who's on the run, whose father was just killed. You know what I mean? He had two movies and he just kind of smushed them together. And he didn't have a lot to say about either or. He didn't have a lot to say or do anything new with the action, with the fight choreography. Then on this side with like the forest fires and being in the Montana mountains and smoke jumpers and stuff, he was just kind of showing a little bit how they operate, but not really enough to really focus on that either. So you kind of had these two settings and stories that should work. And I just felt like it had a hard time focusing on what they were trying to say with this film. The detectives and the pregnant woman and the assassins and this dad who's kind of this conspiracy with the district attorney's office. I just wanted a bigger payoff in the end. So there was just a lot of inconsistencies with this film. Wanted to like this movie a lot more than what it ended up being. Maybe my expectations from Taylor Sheridan have just gotten very high because I love Sicario, I love Hell or High Water, and I love Wind River. It just sort of delivered a decent, all right action film. I wanted more. There should have been more to this. There could have been more to this. Story with Hannah, Angelina Jolie, with getting over this tragedy, her struggle and her trauma behind that. But they just kind of, just a little bit explored it, but not really. You look at Sicario, Hell or High Water, Wind River. They all have something really strong to say about society, the way we perceive things, racism, border crossing, brother story. There's all these great themes. What's the theme in this movie? You can't always save everyone? I don't know. The CGI of the fire wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be in the end. I was like, when we were first starting the film, oh no, the CGI for the fire is going to be so bad. It's going to be like in the first Hunger Games with Katniss when the fire is shooting at her in the forest. It looked like, I thought it was going to be that level bad, and it actually wasn't. It was a nice surprise. This movie is shot beautifully. Cinematography, the way that they shot the action, all that stuff was great. But the actual plot points and what the film was trying to say or focus on, and they were just giving us little tastes here and there for each little theme. They never explored any of it in a big way or in a meaningful way. But I would recommend it. I think if you love action films and you want to see Angelina Jolie take down some guys, try and fight off some assassins, save a kid, this is a good, decent film to check out. So overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give Those Who Wish Me Dead a B-. What did you guys think of Those Who Wish Me Dead? Do you think it was a great film, or do you even think it's worse than where I put it? If you like this video, click like down below and subscribe. That would be wonderful. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this film. Let me know with your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for joining us on Mr. Teach Film Preach. Come back and check out some more videos. We got Mortal Kombat, Nobody, and Without Remorse, all for you to check out. Hope you're having a great day. Enjoy the nice, beautiful spring weather we're finally having. And as always, let's get taught.